All right, and good afternoon to all of our viewers in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and in Southwest Missouri. We're starting off this midday forecast with our Holiday Island, Arkansas camera, brought to you by earthcam.com. Now, today, it's going to be another warm and humid afternoon, but the good news is we're escaping the upper 80s pretty much for the area-wide forecast. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still going to be a couple upper 80s. It's still going to be a little bit on the warmer side, but not in the upper 90s like what we were seeing yesterday, even mid-90s. In fact, overall today, maybe one or two locations hit the 90s, but we're not expecting anything widespread. As you can see, right around the lower to the mid-80s in northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri, upper 80s pretty much elsewhere. Area wide is what we've got in terms of the forecast. So cooler spots are going to be southwest Missouri, as you can see, right around 80, and that's going to be in Branson, 83 in Joplin there. So we've got a little bit cooler forecast on the way, and that's thanks to that cold front. And we have some rain chances on the way as well. We'll walk you through that overnight tonight. Certainly going to be cooler in some spots, as you can see, right around the lower 60s northwest Arkansas, parts of southwest Missouri, lower 70s elsewhere around the region with some upper 60s there as well. So a little bit cooler to start off with tomorrow morning. So not quite a warm and humid start to the morning. It still will be a little bit humid to say the least, but at least the lower 60s are going to feel pretty good as you're headed out the door tomorrow morning. Here's a look at what we got in terms of the highlighted severe weather risk today. No issues there. There is going to be the potential for maybe a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms like we saw this morning. Now, in full transparency, yesterday the models didn't do that great of a job. So this morning it did show some of that activity in parts of the River Valley, northeast Oklahoma, but it wasn't showing it as widespread as what actually happened. So rain chances overnight did bump up a little bit as that activity did fill in. And so that's just the tricky thing about the forecasting. It's not that the forecast is wrong, but this is why we tell you all the time, don't take models, at their full value when they're showing something. This is why we kind of have to keep an eye on things. And so it was a little bit more rain than what was previously forecasted. So that's just full transparency so you can be a part of this. Now it's locking on showing those rain chances. And this is accounting for kind of what we saw this morning. Could continue into parts of this afternoon. Less rain chances further to the north and to the east. Now accounting for the rain that we saw this morning into parts of this afternoon as well. Some areas could pick up an additional, let's say a couple tenths of an inch, all the way up to an inch, maybe an inch and a half of rain. So that's a look at what we got there. Now, morning fog outlook, again, there could be a couple patchy areas of some fog tomorrow morning. Since it's going to be a little bit cooler, we're keeping that humidity. It's not quite as breezy as it's been either across the area. We just showed you that camera. So the foghorns morning outlook, this will probably change by the time we get to our update later on. So keep in mind, stay tuned for those updates throughout the day. But that's a look at our foghorns morning fog outlook. So thank you so much to Foghorns for sponsoring us. And we're glad to have them as a sponsor with Weather 225. So here's a look at the regional radar. That cold front that moved through that was bringing us that rain activity yesterday, it's moving through DFW. So for those that don't know, we cover weather in DFW as well. That's 225 North Texas on Facebook if you want to follow our accounts there. But here's a look at that activity, and we've got a lot of cloud coverage. We've got a lot of rain in some spots. Now, not everyone's going to see the rain today. It's the same as what I said yesterday. Not everyone's going to see that activity. It's just something to be mindful of. But we are going to have a little bit more cloud coverage today thanks to that more expanded activity that we saw. And then down to the south in DFW, some additional rain and thunderstorms will probably develop this afternoon. So we're keeping an eye on that in our North Texas coverage area. But for the rest of the day today, cooler temperatures. We got some rain chances here. And unfortunately, we're not done with those rain chances just yet. And also, unfortunately, we're not done with the allergens either. So mold continues to be on the very high levels. Otherwise, everything pretty much moderate to high levels as well. So if you're dealing with some allergy issues, you probably hear it in my voice, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So we bumped up those rain chances for the remainder today. Not everyone's going to see this activity, but if you're headed out there, just keep an eye on it. We're accounting for that activity that kind of filled in. And then for the remainder today, it's going to be hit or miss rain opportunities. Maybe a little bit quieter tomorrow, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday into Monday, additional rain chances on the way, not only for northwest Arkansas, but also for the River Valley. Temperatures steadily into the mid 80s, maybe some lower 80s as well. Just depends on the day. So we're not going to be seeing the 90s and really any of our coverage areas over the next week. Here's a look at northeast Oklahoma, and we got some 80s and some 70s there. Daily rain chances starting Thursday. And then we got some lower rain chances today, tomorrow, Thursday for southwest Missouri, but those kick back up by the time we get to Friday. So that's a look at what we got there. Thanks so much for tuning into this midday forecast. We'll let you know the very latest here throughout the day. If you like our media and forecast, be sure to support us today on Patreon. You can advertise with us this storm season and throughout the year. Contact us today for availability and pricing. Weather 225 since 2015.